The Enchanted Nightingale. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind and humble woodcutter named Elias. He lived in a small cottage at the edge of an enchanted forest, where he would gather wood every day. Though poor, Elias had a heart full of kindness and never harmed the creatures of the forest. One evening, as he was about to return home, he heard the most beautiful melody echoing through the trees. Following the sound, he discovered a shimmering golden nightingale perched on a branch, singing a song so enchanting that the entire forest seemed to glow in its presence. As Elias watched in awe, the nightingale stopped singing and spoke. "Kind woodcutter, you have never harmed the trees or the creatures of this forest. For your kindness, I will grant you a wish. But be wise, for the heart's truest desires are not always what they seem." Elias thought for a moment. He had always dreamed of living in comfort, free from hardship. "I wish for a grand palace with endless riches, so I may never struggle again." The nightingale nodded and sang a magical tune. A golden light surrounded Elias, and in an instant he found himself standing before a magnificent palace. Servants bowed before him, and tables were laden with the finest foods. Elias was now a king, dressed in robes of silk and gold. At first, Elias was overjoyed. He no longer had to toil in the forest. He was surrounded by luxury, yet something felt missing. Though he had everything he had ever wished for, he felt an emptiness in his heart. The laughter of the birds, the rustling of the leaves, and the simple joys of his old life were gone. One night, as he stood on the balcony of his grand palace, he heard a familiar melody. The golden nightingale had returned. "Tell me, Elias," the nightingale said, "have you found the happiness you sought?" Elias hesitated, then shook his head. "I have all the riches in the world, but I feel lonelier than ever. I miss the simple joys of my life, the scent of the forest, the songs of the birds, the peace of my little cottage." The nightingale smiled gently. "True happiness does not come from gold or riches, but from the love of the world around you." Elias bowed his head. "I understand now. I wish to return to my old life, to the peace and happiness I once knew." With another magical song, the palace vanished, and Elias found himself back in his humble cottage. Though he had no gold or silk, he was filled with a deep and lasting joy. From that day on, he cherished every moment, knowing that true wealth lay not in riches, but in the beauty of the world around him. And so, Elias lived happily, surrounded by the whispers of the trees, the laughter of the birds, and the enchanting songs of the golden nightingale. The end.